The Wild Boars of Madness. Chapter 5. Slogans.
In this world, every species has a way of survival. La Yang released the pigs, avoiding the disaster for a while but losing a hopeful livelihood. Not yet 16 years old, not officially a member of the commune. When there's work in the commune, he contributes a lot but doesn't get many work points. During his free time, he can only wander around the nearby mountains, gathering some wild fruits and herbs, chopping some fire, following his mother's advice not to venture too deep into the mountains. 2. After the autumn harvest, a commune clerk was dispatched to the brigade to write slogans at the entrance of the Huaihezegu Valley. The team leader assigned 15-year-old La Yang to assist him. Clerical staff was very polite to young La Yang. He had interviewed him before and knew that La Yang dad was a hero who killed 2 snow leopards. Clerical staff asked La Yang to carry a bucket of lime slurry and follow him. He found a stone wall built around a big turn in the mountain road. The wall was only chest high, with a cliff of 100 feet outside and an uphill and downhill dirt road inside. The wall was very conspicuous, visible from anywhere within 100 steps. The clerical staff marked 5 positions on the stone wall with the assistance of La Yang. Retrieving a carpenter's inkwell from his military satchel, he uncorked the army-issue water flask and poured a small amount into the inkwell. Waiting for the residual ink to dissolve, he sketched 5 coordinate grids on the stone wall using a ruler and the inkwell, each grid precisely 1 meter square. The clerk then unfolded a piece of white paper from a compartment in his saddle, revealing 5 coordinate grids drawn in pencil. Inside each square were 5 characters, written in bold, old-style Chinese font, emulating Dashian agriculture. Imitating the positions on the paper, the clerk, with a brush dipped in lime mortar, outlined the characters on the stone wall, leaving La Yang responsible for filling in the interiors with a wool brush. As the sky darkened, the 5 characters were completed. Satisfied, clerical staff walked uphill 100 steps, then descended 100 steps, inspecting the work until darkness rendered everything invisible. Clerical staff took out a white iron flashlight from his military shoulder bag, turned it on, and a beam of light flew up the mountain cliff. Clerical staff shone the light back on the protective wall, looking at the 5 characters one by one. Neng Zudaja emulating Dashian agriculture. He said to young La Yang, "This is one completed. It's just a sample. Tomorrow we need to go to the cliff at the entrance of Huaihezegu Valley and write these 5 characters. Each character will be 3 meters high, 2 meters above the ground. Roughly estimating, the workload for 1 character is 9 times that of this 1 character. This doesn't include climbing up and down. We'll need 2 ladders, each 3 meters high. We'll also need 2 more people to help. Let's try to finish it in 10 days. Does your brigade have ladders this high?" Young La Yang said. "Our brigade doesn't have such tall ladders." "Does the commune have them?" Clerical staff said. "I'll check with the commune. If we have them, I'll bring them over with a hand tractor tomorrow. If not, we'll go to the head of the gully and cut down some fir trees to build a frame. This is a political task and we can't afford any delay. Please go back and tell your team leader to send 2 more people to help us tomorrow." Young La Yang said. "Okay." Clerical staff reached out, grabbed La Yang's hand and said, "Thank you, Comrade Yang." The next day, 2 3-person high cedar ladders were set up at the entrance of the Huaihezegu Valley. The ladders were hastily arranged by carpenters from the commune overnight, without time for mortise and tenon joints. Instead, large iron nails were used and hemp ropes were used to secure the joints. 2 additional personnel were sent by the commune and 2 from the local team. The 4 of them lifted the ladders, while the clerical staff and young La Yang worked at heights. Writing large characters is challenging. On the 4th afternoon, with the completion of the final stroke, a young La Yang's brush, a 3-meter-high white-painted Neng character appeared completely on the cliff. Coincidentally, a hand tractor billowing dust came up the mountain road to the creek entrance. It stopped on the roadside, since the mountain road did not lead to the Huaihezegu Valley. The team leader jumped down from the tractor, followed by the commune secretary and 3 or 4 others. The team leader said, "Riding on that cliff, even ghosts won't see it. Are we doing this for the gods?" The secretary replied, "You don't understand. Something big is happening. The gods will come soon. I won't be able to accompany them. Only Director Fang from the Revolutionary Committee can personally accompany them. This time, Director Lai from the County Revolutionary Committee is coming. When he arrives, don't talk nonsense." The team leader retorted, "Don't mention big things. It's not a good sign. How can you grow crops in the Huahezigu Valley? The land is cold and barren. For generations, nothing has grown here. The secretary said. You can view it with an old perspective. In the new society now, emulating Dashan agriculture, people are bold and the land is productive. Clerical staff ran to the secretary's side and pointed to the just completed large tractors. The secretary raised his head, looked left and right, then took big strides towards the direction of the creek, carefully inspecting it. He nodded in satisfaction. Little Laoyang had already climbed down from the cedar ladder, avoiding the secretary. He went to a small stream opposite the cliff to wash his hands. On the muddy ground of the stream bank, a row of clear hoof prints led up to the grassy slope. Behind the grassy slope were sparse bushes with exposed roots. Little Laoyang's heart raced. Hoof prints. The size of these prints indicated a pig about 1.5 feet tall. Since the night he chased the pig away, little Laoyang had never seen any trace of the pig again, having lost hope long ago. Unexpectedly, today at the creek entrance he saw clear hoof prints. They were fresh. The pig had been here today. The secretary strolled to the stream's edge and turned to look again at the characters on the cliff. In a good mood, he loudly urged everyone, hurry up and finish writing the following characters. The county and town leaders will arrive shortly. Don't make a joke or others to see. Also, tell Young here there's something special, the most superstitious one. This time you learn to write big characters and open up your mind. Although little Laoyang felt that the secretary seemed amiable today, he couldn't shake the feeling that the secretary had never meant well. Unable to ignore him, he could only pretend to smile foolishly and ran to the edge of clerical staff at the clerk, climbing up a ladder. However, Yang Yang's heart was pounding. He wanted to stand on the ladder and look back at the opposite hill, but he was afraid the secretary below would become suspicious. In the midst of the conversation, a BJ extended jeep kicked up a trail of dust as it drove from the mountain road to the creek entrance, directly down the slope, and charged several dozen steps inward. A sudden brake brought it to a stop just 10 steps away from where the coming secretary stood. Before the secretary could reach them, Director Fan from the Town Revolutionary Committee had already jumped down from the rear of the car. He extended his hand to support a short, stout man wearing oversized grass-green military trousers, a white shirt tucked into a belt, and a grass-green military jacket draped over his arm. It was indeed Director Lai from the County Revolutionary Committee. Without waiting for the secretary, the Commune Secretary rushed over to stand beside Director Fang from the Town Revolutionary Committee, introduced himself, and greeted the leaders. Director Lai, in a friendly manner, glanced at the Commune Secretary and said to Director Fang, very good, very good. Everyone here seems to be in high spirits. He then looked amiably at the people on the scene, before fixing his gaze on the large white-painted character Nong on the cliff. Slowly, his brow furrowed. Lao Feng, it's too small. How tall is this character now? Director Fang motioned to the Commune Secretary, who responded, it's currently 1 gen tall and 1 gen wide, 3 meters tall and 3 meters wide. Director Lai remarked, too small, too small. Double the size, 6 meters tall and 6 meters wide. We need to learn from Dazhai, demand land from the mountains, and transform Huahezigu Valley into a place resembling the riverside in western Sichuan. Such a small character doesn't match our ambitions and won't inspire the enthusiasm of the Commune members. Director Lai continued. Comrade Chen, the secretary of Dazhai Commune, has been rapidly promoted to the position of the provincial secretary in Shaanxi. The future is limitless. Your Commune secretary should strive for progress, and the future is limitless. Perhaps, in the future, we'll rush to the provincial capital to report to you.